I have to ask, Sneako, you would give your daughter to a man who has 19 other women?
If he was a good guy, yeah.
Really? No shot. That's the biggest code.
What up, what up, what up? This is your boy Agree to Disagree, and I'm coming at you again with another video review. The video we are reviewing today, is Sneako taking yet another L as he debates destiny. Let's get to it.
How do you have God on your stream while you're talking about so many different women? How is that godlike? How do you expect, let's say that you do that. Let's say somebody gets your lifestyle, okay? And you get your 20 women up to your 25, 26, 27 years old. How are you just going to flip that off and then go and find one woman when that's what you've been putting out in the world?
Because women could fall in, women don't care. You could have 20 women. Like,
you don't think women care? The type of woman that, do you know which type of women don't care? It's the same type of women that you make fun of. It's going to be the Kim Kardashian clones. They're going to be the ones that don't care.
That's not true.
You think you think that you can go from having 20 women through your 20s, and then at 26, 27, you're going to find like a woman that is spiritual, that is looking for the same things in life that you are going to claim?
20 spiritual women.
What does that mean?
20 spiritual women.
How are you going to have 20 spiritual women?
Collect them like Pokemon.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to meme, I mean, at least you admit you're wrong. Okay.
Yeah, that's what men need to do. Men need to keep providing. That's what makes men happy.
That doesn't make you a provider. How do you think you're going to be able to provide romantically for a woman when you're 28 if you've been sleeping around and fucking around for your entire 20s? You're not even going to know what a healthy relationship looks like.
Once you f a lot of women, you understand how they work and you get better with them.
No, when you fuck a lot of women, you understand how to fuck women. That's the only thing you get. You don't know how to love a woman. You don't.
I 110% agree. Hookup culture doesn't teach you how to be in a long-term relationship, nor does it help you find the person that you're looking for. People think like, oh, if I hook up with enough people, magically I'll find the person who is right for me and I'll want to settle down. No, it does not work that way. You are not going to settle down unless you realize the importance of being in a long-term committed relationship. And once you're ready to settle down, that's when you will find someone who you are willing to settle down with. You're imperfect, so chances are the people that you meet are going to be imperfect as well. They're going to have their flaws. You make long-term relationships work by working on those issues, learning how to communicate effectively, learning your partner's likes and dislikes, and learning how they want to be loved. That's how you make a long-term committed relationship work. Now, if you're hopping from one relationship to the next, then you don't have to work on any of those issues, because as soon as the relationship starts to go bad, you can just move on to the next person. So you don't have to worry about learning someone's likes and dislikes and how they want to be loved, because it's a waste of your time. Just move on to the next person, and then that new person you're with, they're just going to have to learn about your toxic issues just like the last person did. So this way there's zero accountability, and you can always blame the issues on your ex and just find someone new.
You should talk to women, the kind of women that you want when you're 27. You should start talking to them now, because they don't want to touch somebody like you with a fucking 10-foot pole. They would not want anything to do with you. If you go into a church, and you start talking to women in their late 20s and you say, what kind of a man are you looking for? They're not going to say, I want a man who could have fucked and gotten 100 bitches pregnant. That's the kind of man I want to take care of me.
Women don't know what they want from a man. They don't know what to say. They just don't understand men inherently.
And you think you have the answer to that? You think at 23 you figured out what women want?
Yeah.
What's the longest relationship you've been in?
2 years. For a year. Okay,
so you've been in one or maybe two relationships in your life. How do you think you already know what women want?
I've been in maybe like 20 relationships.
Not real relationships. You're 23. You couldn't have been in
20 relationships by 23 is just ridiculous. First off, you can't even count any relationships before 16, because you're just starting to learn yourself and figure out your own emotions. So none of that counts. And second of all, 20 relationships within that short span of time, those relationships could not have been any type of deep connection. There had to be 100% shallow relationships. And to add to that, these red pill guys swear women want a guy who has slept with 100+ women. They don't. Trust me. What they actually want is a man who is capable of sleeping with 100 women, but he chooses not to because he has that discipline in him, and he's not just going to sleep with a woman just because he can. That's a man who is to be respected. A man who just sleeps with women because he can is a man who doesn't have any discipline.
What do you think a real relationship is? Like watching Netflix every night with your boo bear and like going on a picnic?
A real relationship is dealing with the ups and downs of life with a partner that you're committed to, not somebody that you meet Friday night to.
Woo-wee! Goodness gracious. God damn. Whew. My man is cooking right now. Let's continue.
I don't understand how you think you can live your lifestyle and flip a switch at 27 and all of a sudden be the type of man that you want to be for the type of woman you want to get. You're going to be dating Instagram models them your entire life, or you're going to be like Andrew Tate. You're going to be 38 on a live stream bragging about being able to 18-year-olds, and that's going to be the rest of your life. Let's look at conservatives, okay? Do you think if you had a daughter and a guy like you came up to that daughter, would you let your daughter date that guy?
Yeah, I'm a good guy.
The lies. Oh my God.
Time he's 23, a guy that's looking for you would let that daughter date that guy. You're lying. You know you're lying.
I have to ask, Sneako, you would give your daughter to a man who has 19 other women?
If he was a good guy, yeah.
Really? No shot. That's the biggest cope. There's no shot. You wouldn't let your daughter near that guy? Would you let your daughter date somebody like Andrew Tate? If your daughter was 18 and Andrew Tate came up to her when he's 40 years old, would you let your daughter date that guy? You wouldn't.
Yeah, see, this is what dudes do when like they're losing an argument and they just can't admit that the other person's making a good point, so they just kind of say whatever. No respectable person is going to want their daughter, sister, or mother to just be some guy's cum bucket. No man wants that. They want their daughter to be with someone who is loving, caring, respects them, treats them as an equal, not someone who is just expendable or just one of many.
Earlier, I caught a stray shot because I think you guys were talking and you were like, I was telling Abba that I don't subscribe to the idea that everyone can be rich, but that anyone can be rich. Is that correct? So your estimation, Sneako, is not that everyone can be rich at the same time. It's that if someone tries, they can do it.
Anybody can be rich.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
That's a very simple statement. That's true.
Fair. But you also recognize that's only for a minority of people that can be rich. It's not everyone that can be rich at the same time, correct?
Yeah, anybody can be rich.
Okay, perfect. So my question is, if you're doing this on these platforms and you're trying to spread the truth to as many people as possible, but you also acknowledge that not everyone who follows your advice can be rich at the same time, what do you say to the rest of the people who won't be able to have access to those resources?
That's tough.
That's tough. Okay, so for the vast majority of your audience, that's tough. But for the ones who worked hard enough and made it, well, they're the only ones who kind of get to be content and be men in that sense.
Yeah.
In that true sense.
Yes.
Okay. So you don't think that because you're leaving behind so many people that your philosophy is not good for the masses?
They don't have to be left behind.
You just told me they are, and you said that's tough.
They don't have to be left behind. They can still work and go get it. If you have an internet connection, you can be rich.
But you just said not everybody will be rich.
You just said
Not everybody will be.
I want you to hear yourself.
Be.
I just want you to hear. You've just told me that not everyone can be rich at the same time. We both agree. Cool. I then asked you, what about the rest of the people who can't be? What do you say to them? And then afterwards, you've told me that's tough.
That's tough. Well, so work harder. You can still get it. It's not too late. It's never too late.
What Sneako fails to realize is that sometimes life comes down to winning and losing. And in this game of trying to be rich, most people lose. I think there's this false narrative that just because you're smart, you work hard, and you're ambitious, then you can be rich. No, it doesn't work like that. You might be able to make a decent living, but it's very rare that those people become rich. And the reason because of that is competition. I'll use Blu-ray and HD DVDs as an example, right? Some of y'all may not remember this, but once upon a time we had both Blu-ray DVDs and we had HD DVDs. Only one of those medias could be the dominating media that we all use today. And unfortunately, HD DVD lost that competition. You can't even find HD DVDs anymore. They're no longer in stores. You can't even find them anywhere. Why? Because Blu-ray DVDs, they made better business decisions and they ended up winning that competition. It wasn't because the people who made HD DVDs weren't smart, or they weren't ambitious, or they didn't work hard. The issue was it was competition. They had a better competitor out there, and so people had to make the decision: should I get a Blu-ray DVD or should I get an HD DVD? And the majority of people went with Blu-ray DVDs, and therefore HD DVDs, they can't get rich off of HD DVDs. So sometimes you may have a great idea, but someone else just might have a better one. And if someone's down to their last dollar, they're going to go with the people who have the better product. And that's just how life works. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Let me know what you thought of the video. What points did you agree with? What points did you disagree with? Leave your comments below and let me know what you thought. And if you got anything out this video, hit that like button. This is Agree to Disagree. I'm out.